Very good morning to all of you, and hope everybody is fine, doing fine. And today I thought that I'll give a small talk on the so predicted uh, Mars mission from Elon Musk, and uh, the things are in media and all around the globe that that we have uh, some of the extraordinary personalities living on the planet planning uh, to to move to the Mars. And for me, it seems to be an illusion. It seems to be the illusion from current situation point of view. And uh, why I believe that the Elon Musk's mission won't work is because it has certain scientific uh, uh, arguments involved in it, some scientific predictions involved in this process. And this man certainly is looking for an idea which is extraterritorial, which is interplanetary in nature. And I'm not against the intuition that makes these things possible for the mankind, that they can have an access to a planet where they can transport humans or animals from the living planet Earth to a dead planet, and they'll go for some of the scientific booms there on that planet and create the Goldilocks conditions for the animals, for the humans to have sustainable life on these planets. And certainly, this man has a vision, and this vision is for the future, where we can have a colonial Mars, where humans can live on Mars. But when we look at the fundamental scientific and engineering challenges, it certainly makes such kind of delusional argument uh, impossible as long as the present situation of the globe is concerned. So, uh, the dream is always there. As a science student, it's also the dream of all the people who want to explore, who want to explore the solar system. So the dream is there with the people over centuries, and certainly humans have looked at Mars as a potential candidate, as a second living place for the human beings. So there has to have the reasons, and the very first thing is that we have climate change and overpopulation on the planet. So this can be the first argument that leads us to think about what is on the right of the planet, what is on the left of the planet, and when we can see that certainly we can popularize the humans on. So since there are climatic changes happening on the planet, and we have a population explosion going on, this might be the very first reason for dreaming about a colonization on the Mars, apart from the fundamental dreams. Even though you have everything on the planet, you always would like to have an exploration where you can reach out to the places where we have not reached till now. And the second thing is we have the existential risks on the planet. You can have an asteroid that might come of full size, is an appreciable size. The way it has an asteroid has hit the planet billions of years ago, where it has destroyed almost the whole dinosaur species. So we can think about these potential risks that are existing, a nuclear war. These things can be the, the reasons that are leading us to think about another planet uh, as, uh, as a potential candidate for the humans to migrate on and to live on. And the point is that humans are always desirous. Okay, the people have told in past that this world is enough as long as the food is concerned, but this world is not enough for the desires. So human endeavors are always there, and they will go to the infinity. They will try to go to the infinity because we have the desires, and these desires always make us think how we can explore a multi-planetary motion from the planet Earth. Now the point is that this dream ignores. There is a dream to populate the Mars, and uh, and and there is a flaw. There is an unforgiving environment on the Mars. Now, what is the mission of this billionaire? And it is a gamble. What I believe is that what Musk is thinking is a gamble. It's a billionaire's gamble. And he is the master of SpaceX and Starships, and they are preparing to build these spaceships that can take less time to move from one planet to another planet. So these launch fleets of the starships are important. So the launch fleets of the starships for every 6 months has been considered. And to build a self-sustaining colony on the Mars, where you can have food, oxygen, and water extraction, because it's believed that there are certain places on the Mars where there is frozen ice, and certainly to terraform Mars by thickening its atmosphere. So how can they terraform Mars? They can do that by nuking its poles so that there is thickening of the atmosphere. Now this human VJ mission, it can survive on Mars. Is a huge misconception in front of the ordinary man. Why? What is the harsh reality of this planet? The very fundamental harsh reality is that you cannot expect Mars to be hostile to human life. The very first important point is its atmosphere, and its atmosphere is 100 times thinner than that of Earth's atmosphere, and whatever the atmosphere over the Mars is, it is filled with carbon dioxide. And you can see the average temperature of this planet is from minus 30 degrees Celsius. And it can drop to negative of 125 degrees Celsius. Now, talking about the water, it is in the form of ice, as I said, and it's very difficult to extract this water from this planet. And talking about this point is the fourth point that I'm talking about is something what is practically impossible in current economic world that we have, in the current technological world that we have. And what is that? That is the presence of radiations. The Mars is rotating, but it does not produce the magnetic field. So when it does not produce the magnetic field, the outer radiation that's coming from the sun, it directly hits the Mars. So you can say that it is 50 times higher than Earth due to the lack of the magnetic field. So at this point we can think that Mars does not have a metallic core because there is no magnetic field. Even though it's spinning, the spinning of the Mars does not give birth to the magnetic field. So how we are shielded from these radiations? The reasons for that is, since the Earth is rotating on its axis, and And the charged particles that are coming from the outer universe, that are coming from the sun, they are charged, they get deflected by the Earth's magnetic field. But Mars has absence of this magnetic field. So, as I said, whatever the technology right now we have, uh, uh, humans would need to live underground on this heavily shielded habitats on the Mars. Okay, as I said, there is no magnetic field. If there is no magnetic field, it's a complete flaw. It's a fatal flaw for the planet. And as I said, that Earth has its magnetic field, but Mars does not have. And what it will lead to the deadly solar winds that are coming from the outer universe, that are coming from the sun. And that certainly will increase the DNA damage. It will damage the cells, the human cells, the animal cells, and will cause cancers. And there is atmospheric erosion over time. So there is a strong need of magnetic field on this planet. That means if you want to terraform the Mars, the very first fundamental thing that should be kept in mind is the magnetic field of the Mars, that you have to create those artificial conditions by which you can produce the magnetic field on the Mars. So, this is the, okay. So one way of doing that is we can think of using superconductors. As we know, what's a superconductor? A superconductor is a material. If you direct this superconductor across a potential difference, you will have the current, and the current will move in the superconductor without decaying, because the superconductors does not offer any resistance to the movement of DC current. So if there is flow of current, then as we know from the basic laws of physics, that the moving current is a cause of creating magnetic field. So we can think of using superconductors. So we have to move down a superconductor over the surface of the Mars and allow the current to pass through through those superconductors. So when the current will pass through these superconductors, they can produce magnetic fields, and these magnetic fields will interact with the radiation that are coming from the outer universe and will not allow them to enter the atmosphere of the Mars. This is an idea out there. So what it needs to have a length of 3,000 kilometers. So you need a wire, a thick wire of whose length is 3,000 kilometers, and it needs a continuous power at extreme efficiencies. So both the things are nearly impossible to construct with the current technology that we have on the planet. And even we struggle on Earth. Even on Earth, we struggle to maintain superconducting systems on the small scales. Now, on the Mars, it has to be on the large scale, where it will take on the circumference of the planet, and its length will be of the order of 3,000 kilometers. So the idea is there, the idea of technology that you can use there is plausible, but it's not practical. So there is a need of creating an artificial magnetosphere. On the planet Earth, we have a magnetosphere, and what this magnetosphere is, it is a layer on the planet which is the result of the interaction of the magnetic field that's produced by the Earth and the radiations and the particles that are coming from the outer universe. That causes a layer on the planet Earth, what's called as magnetosphere. So you have to assume that you can create that magnetosphere, which is artificial in nature, on the planet Mars. And this has been proposed by NASA to create an artificial magnetic field to protect the Mars. So placing a giant magnet at Mars, L1 Lagrange point, generating strong enough fields to deflect the solar system. So you can think in terms of creating an artificial magnetosphere. So this would require immense amount of energy and material we do not currently have. We lack this kind of thing. So I have to go to this slide now, even though I crisscrossed a couple of slides, but the idea is out there what I want to tell about. So it is not basically a $1 trillion fantasy. It's a $60 trillion fantasy that's roaming around the globe. And Elon Musk's Mars colonization plan is estimated to cost 100 billion to 1 trillion. This 100 to 1 trillion is basically to launch your humans, take them with that all basic technological needs that they can shield themselves from the outer atmosphere of the Mars. So they will have to live under the surface of the Mars to get protected from the hazardous radiations that are coming from the outer universe. So all those so if you actually want a civilization on the Mars, then certainly you will have to go above the $60 trillion cost. So the challenges, the cost of an artificial magnetosphere, it's a big challenge. Building a long-term sustainable habitats, where you can have a habitat where humans can live for a long range of time, and transporting and maintaining the millions of people on the planet. But these are the challenges. So what to me it looks like investing in this without solving these fundamental issues of the planet Mars, it's a fantasy, it's financially reckless. So what could be the plausible alternative solutions in this context? The money that's going to be invested for having a short-term civilization on the planet Mars, if that money can be used on the planet Earth, that can be the right way. So, not spending trillions on Mars, what should we do is we should fix the climate problem of the planet Earth before trying to attempt to terraform another planet where you can have the human life. And we should develop better space habitats like O'Neill, Slender's, or Moon bases. Advanced artificial intelligence, fusion energy, and material science to make space colonization feasible in the distant future. So I call it distant. It's going to take hundreds of years to reach to that stage where we can have solved the problems of the planet Earth. So to conclude this talk, to me, I feel it's the harsh truth about the Mars. While Musk's vision is certainly inspiring, it is not scientifically feasible in the current global situation. And the lack of magnetic field and the need of these superconductors on the enormous scale on this planet to make it colonized, it's absolutely impossible. So instead of chasing a science fiction dream that we are trying, humanity should focus on realistic space explorations, and they should look for all those models by virtue of which the planet Earth can be saved. So this is the argument, and with this I would like to stop and have your own idea about whether you like it or you should like it. If you don't like it, the choice is yours.